this tutorial titled, How to Get into a Car and Drive It. We are going to learn how to do this in 3 easy steps. First step is to prepare the car so that it can be driven by a character. For that, we will need a bed. We will also need a chair. And we will need any 2 small items that we'll use as pointers to stick the driver's hands to the steering wheel. That's all we need to get the car ready. Now let's practice. We place ourselves in the set workshop view. We will glue the chair exactly to the driver's seat, because it is the chair that allows the driver to stay glued to the car when the car is in motion. By placing the chair in the driver's seat, you adjust the position of the chair to suit the driver's position in the car. Now we place the bed in the car exactly as for the chair, in the same driver's position. You adjust the position of the bed until the position of the bed corresponds to the position of the driver. Now I'll explain why a bed and why a chair. We need the bed to have the driver's gestures when he gets into the car. And we need the chair to keep the driver glued to the car when it moves. You may be wondering why not just use a bed, since the bed also allows the driver to sit down. And quite simply because a bed does not allow the driver to stay glued to the car when the driver is in the extended position. Okay, we have placed the chair and the bed. Now we are going to place the 2 small objects on the steering wheel to point the driver's hands towards the steering wheel. For the moment we will place these 2 objects anywhere on the steering wheel, because we will come back to them later to adjust their positions according to the position of the driver's hands. Once we have the two pointer objects, in this case our car is well prepared to accommodate the driver. We have completed step 1. Now we move on to step 2, which consists of creating the character and the double of the character. So we sit in the dressing room. When you click on this icon, Moviestorm automatically creates any character that you can customize at will. We will see that in another tutorial. Once you have your character, Moviestorm allows you to save it to a stockpile so you can make a copy of that character whenever you want. For that, click here and this icon to save your character in the stock. Now to add a duplicate of your character, click on this icon and click here the plus icon to create a new character or a duplicate of your existing character in the stock. Here we are, phase 2 is over and we have created our character and his double. Now we go to step 3, which will take place in the director's view. We place ourselves in the director's view to carry out the animation. Our car is ready, the driver and his double are there, so let's get on with it. We select the character called Female 1. It is our main driver who will drive the car. And we will place it on the chair. We select Female 1 and we right-click on the chair that we had glued to the car. In the menu we click on Sit Down. Then the character would sit down. Then we will put the character in a lying position. Then we right-click on Female 1 and in the menu we click on Posture, then we click on Slouch. Then the driver goes into a slouch position on the chair. Now we are going to make Female 1 temporarily invisible. Then we place the cursor at the beginning in the timeline, or we move the effect of the invisibility placed in the timeline and we place it at the beginning of the timeline. We right-click on Female 1 then click on Hide to make the character invisible. As you can see, the driver is invisible and he places himself in the chair and lies down as programmed. Now we are going to place the double of Female 1 who will play the role of the one who realizes the correct way to get into the car and to sit down without collision of the body with the car. If the cursor is not at the start of the timeline, drag it to the start of the timeline. Then we select Female 2 by clicking on it. Then we make a right click on the bed that we had stuck to the car. Then you click on Bed. Then you click on Sit on Bed Left. Then Female 2 gets on the bed and stretches out on the bed, as you can see. We play the animation to see what we have done looks like. Now watch what we are going to do. Just when the position of Female 2 coincides with the position of Female 1 who is already seated on the chair, we will make Female 2 invisible and make Female 1 visible at the same time. When you have the ideal position which harmonizes the driver and his double which is female too. So we right-click on female 2, then we click on hide to make female 2 invisible. Then we right-click on female 1, then we click on unhide to make female 1 visible. Let's play the animation to see. Very good. That's perfect. We have the animation of the driver when he gets in the car and when he sits down. Now we move the car to test that the driver is well glued to the car when it moves. So we grab the car and we pull it in any direction. Here it is perfect, the driver is well in the moving car. Let's congratulate ourselves, we did a great work. But it's not over. We have to simulate the position of the driver's hands on the steering wheel. They will serve us to point the driver's hands towards the steering wheel. Then we select female 1 by clicking on it, then we right-click on the small red sphere placed on the steering wheel and we click on point at prim. We play the animation, you can see that the driver has moved his right hand towards the left red sphere. That's not good. Because we want the character to point his left hand towards the left sphere. We go to the timeline. We right-click on this little hand icon. A small window is displayed to allow us to customize which hand should point to the sphere. In the drop-down list you can choose left or right, then we click on left to order the driver's left hand to point to the sphere on which we have right-clicked. Fine, now let's play the animation to see how it looks like. As you can see, the driver's left hand is moving and pointing towards the sphere we had chosen. Perfect. Now let's point the driver's right hand towards the right red sphere. We do the same procedure as before. We make a right-click on the chosen sphere and we click on point at prim and that's it. Automatically the driver's right hand will point to the right-hand sphere. Here we also succeeded in placing the two hands of the driver on the steering wheel. But notice well that the two hands are not well placed where it is necessary on the wheel. Don't panic, with MLab there is always an easy solution. So to properly place the driver's hands on the steering wheel, we go to the Set Workshop view and we will move the two spheres to the position that we think is more ideal. Once we are in the Set Workshop view, we select a sphere, then we bring up the orientation manipulator with its arrows which allow us to orient our object with precision, and we start to move the sphere thanks to these arrows in the dimensions from space. You can see that when you move the sphere, the driver's hand follows the movement and direction of the sphere. Then you place the sphere where you think is perfect for you. You do the same for the two small spheres in turn until the two hands of the driver appear correctly placed on the steering wheel. Once you are done with that, you can congratulate yourself for doing most of what it takes to achieve the purpose of this tutorial. Now all that remains to be done is just to make invisible all these objects, which allowed us to realize this beautiful animation. Then we are going to make the chair, the bed, and the two pointer spheres invisible, because we in no way would like these objects to appear in our animation while shooting our scene. Then we right-click on each of these objects, then we click on Hide. Here we are, brothers. Ladies and gentlemen. That's it, you can congratulate yourself. We do some camera shots and movements. And as you can see, it's quite impressive. We have a very nice and realistic animation of a driver well placed in the car. That's all, brothers. I hope you understood correctly. Otherwise, leave me your comments and remarks, or if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask them on my channel, and do not forget to subscribe and encourage me to do more unusual tutorials and never given before. Thanks for watching. And peace out, brothers. Do not forget the feedback by subscribing and sharing my tutorials.